Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Sometimes when you're out on a date, as a guy, you want to showcase how macho and manly you are and also how spontaneous you are, and you make decisions on a whim.
Yeah.
Like the guy on the phone for today's second date update. He originally planned to go to a movie with the girl that he took out, but then he made a boss move. And he was like, F it, we're bowling. And he decided to switch it up on her in the middle of the date and go bowling. Sounds like a fun time. Hey, James, how are you?
I'm good, Jubal. How you
Yeah,
doing?
nice move.
Oh, man.
Nice move to switch it up on her from a movie to bowling.
Bold.
Yeah, I mean, it felt right.
It felt right.
The date was just going so well, I didn't want the conversation to end, and then when you go see a movie, then you basically have to shut up for an hour and a half.
Yeah, makes sense.
It
Okay.
actually is really smart. Always activities, I feel like, are the best way to go for a first date.
Yeah, because I read your email and you were like, we were originally supposed to go to a movie and then I switched it up to bowling in the middle of the date. How was bowling with this girl?
Oh, it was great. She's actually a pretty terrific bowler. It was actually fun to bowl with her, but the conversation just kept going, and it was like really comfortable. Like I don't remember last time it was that easy to talk to a woman.
What's her name, by the way?
Oh, Danielle.
And where'd you meet Danielle?
We met online, actually, because I don't date a lot. I'm kind of an indoor person mostly.
A hermit?
But I mean, I saw her, online, and we just started chatting together for like a week.
Is this your first online date, or have you been doing this for a while?
No, I mean, I've been tossing the idea around, but I never really committed to it. And then I was like, well, all right, enough of this, I'm not getting any younger, so might as well just jump in,
Did she know what a loose cannon she was dealing with? Like, we were like, a guy's just going to switch it up from movie to bowling?
Yeah, I'm pretty wild. I don't think she was necessarily ready for that.
In your email, you said there was an awkward moment during your date. What happened?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at a certain point, the conversation kind of steered towards our childhoods, and I don't know. I was feeling really comfortable, and I just, basically, I told her about how I kissed my cousin this one time when I was a kid.
What? What did you just admit to?
How did that happen?
Well, I mean, no, that's the thing. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like it was just like a mostly friendly thing. Like when you're a kid, you're dumb. You don't.
No, I don't mean how did the kiss with your cousin happen. I mean, how did you feel like you should share that with your date?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It was so comfortable between the both of us that, like, we just started talking about our childhoods, and then the next thing I know, I'm telling this embarrassing story about me and my cousin kissing.
Did she seem weird about it after you said that? I mean, I don't know. For me, if somebody told me that if they were kids, I'd be like, all right, whatever. It wouldn't bother me.
I mean, when I told her, she got real quiet, so then I decided I tried to lighten the mood, and I was like, oh, I'm sure you've done worse. And she was like, no.
Yeah, actually, no.
I would, I'm from a small town in North Idaho, and those are things you don't joke about.
Yeah, what do you think she just say? I totally made out with my dad once,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah. So you feel like that's maybe the reason she's not calling you back? Because you're a cousin kisser?
I mean, I have a feeling that's it, because otherwise, after that, it ended, I guess, politely and nicely. I walked her to her car and everything. Ever since then, I've just been trying to text, and I feel like I'm getting the runaround.
Is she talking to you at all?
I sent her like a couple of texts, and then, the second or third one, I can't remember. I was like, hey, did you get my other text? And she was like, oh, no, sorry. I was out of town. I didn't have like cell coverage. So I didn't get it. I've been traveling a lot, but I can't get a definitive answer out of her for anything.
It's all the kind of standard blow-off lines.
Exactly.
Busy,
Coincidentally,
out of town, no cell service, phone died, that kind of stuff.
Can we clarify one thing, though, real quick? How old were you when you kissed the cousin?
Brooke can't get over it.
I can't.
It's kind of fuzzy at this point. I don't fully remember, but maybe my teens or something. I'm not sure. Maybe my early teens.
Okay.
I
Get
don't
into the
know.
weird line.
Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, man, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Today's second date update is a little different from the others because we actually have audio of what happened while they were out on their date. They were bowling, this guy and this girl, and at one point he leaned to her and went, "You know what I like to do? I enjoy a good old make out with my cousin. Yeehaw! Who doesn't like kissing their cousin? I remember back in a family reunion, all my family members were kissing. I leaned over to my cousin and said, 'More tongue, please. Give me some more tongue, cousin Jenny.'" At least that's what I think happened on the date. James is on the phone, and he wants us to call a girl named Danielle today. The awkward part of their date, I guess, and the reason that James thinks he's not getting a call back is because while they were out bowling together, he shared with her that when he was younger, he kissed his cousin. And things were sort of awkward after that. So he's been trying to get a hold of her. She's actually been texting back and forth with him, but she keeps blowing him off, saying that she's busy and everything else. Was that accurate audio of your date, James?
I mean, that's artist's license, I guess. Honestly, I think it went a little bit better than that.
Okay.
I don't think I'm quite that southern, but otherwise, sure, let's go with that.
All right.
And do you just want to maybe kind of explain the situation to her?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to straighten this out with her, like, except for that one awkward part of the evening. Like, we had great chemistry, and I don't want to throw this away just because, like, there was, like, an awkward anecdote that got told or something.
Yeah, it's not like you're still seeing your cousin.
No, we've broken things off since then. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, man, I'm going to dial the phone number, see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date update, okay?
Thanks, guys.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Danielle, please?
this is Danielle.
Hey, Danielle, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Hello.
Hello, what's going on?
Nothing. Just enjoying a break right now.
Sweet, so I got you at the right time, I guess.
I guess so.
We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up blowing them off, they email us to see if we can get you on the phone and ask why.
What?
Do you remember going out with a guy named James?
Yeah, I remember James.
Okay, well, we talked to James, and he told us about you guys going out and hanging out at the bowling alley, and he said that he had a really great time, but he says he's been trying to text with you, and you've just been being like, "I'm busy, I'm out of town, my phone's dead," all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a hectic time.
So you really are busy?
Yes, I'm actually busy.
So you liked James, like you thought he was cool.
Yeah, James was really cool.
Okay, then why are you always busy and not able to hang out with him? Are you still trying to process the fact that he made out with his cousin when he was a young boy? He told us about that little awkward moment during your date.
Oh, I can't believe he mentioned that. I couldn't believe he told me that.
You still liked him after you found out he kissed his cousin.
It was a little awkward when he brought it up. And he was really nervous too, but it was all really endearing. I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was saying he was 25 years old.
Yeah,
And-
it wasn't like his cousin. He went out with his cousin before he went out with me.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
like, "Oh, dude, I just had coffee with my cousin in a huge makeout sesh. I'm so excited to bowl with you right now."
So I don't get it, though, because I'm sorry. Every guy I've ever met, I'm a pretty busy person, but if I like them, you make time for them.
Yeah.
Totally. I just had a situation. Something happened, and I just couldn't see him. I needed some time.
You needed some time, or you got like another relationship going on or something?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, but there's something going on in your life where you can't make time to go out with him.
Right. I had a bit of a situation, and I just need some time before I can see him again.
Okay, it sounds really shady. I'm just going to be honest. Is it shady?
It's not. It's not shady. It's embarrassing.
For you?
For me, yes.
What is it?
Now we're dying to know.
Yeah, I have to know now.
I just need another week, at least, before I see him again. That's all.
You need a week.
And then, yeah, my situation will be done and over.
What?
It's another
Never
relationship.
happened.
Your divorce is going to be final in a week. Your divorce is going to be final in a week. Is that it?
No relationship, none of that. Just a little procedure that I have to have.
Whoa.
You're getting fake boobs?
No, that would be a nice surprise, though.
Yeah, he'd be excited about that. He'd be like, I'll wait a week. That's fine.
Like a medical procedure?
It's not. Fine, I'll just tell you guys.
Thank you.
And this happened after my date with James. I was really late for work one day. I'm rushing out of the house. I'm in a panic. And I ran into my door. It was like, go to open it. I run into my door, and I knocked my teeth out.
What?
You knocked your teeth out?
Yeah. And
Oh,
So-
you poor thing.
While we talk to you right now, are you currently toothless?
I didn't lose all of my teeth. It's my 2 front teeth.
Oh, no, honey.
Oh, wow. So you knocked your 2 front teeth out, and that's why you needed time.
Yeah, I don't need him to see me like this.
I can understand that. If
my
you go out with a
God.
girl and she's got a perfectly full set of choppers and you show up and you're like, where'd your 2 front teeth go?
Yeah, and it's just not a story I would like to tell over and over again.
Hey, he does like kissing cousins. It may be right up his alley. You never know.
You know, instead of texting him and telling him, I'm busy, why don't you say, hey, I knocked my front teeth out and I don't really feel like going out on a date until I get those replaced.
Well, I went to the dentist immediately, right after it happened. You know, it wasn't the first thing on my mind to let him know that this happened to me. And the dentist said that I would be able to get it fixed pretty soon in the next few weeks. So I'd rather just get it fixed, get it done, so that when James, if I go out with James again, he's not looking at me trying to figure out what part of my tooth is fake.
I
Right.
would never tell a soul if I were you. I wouldn't go to work until I got it fixed.
Yeah, it has not been fun.
Yeah.
You know, the interesting thing about not telling anybody is that James is actually on the other line listening, Danielle.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Hey, Danielle.
Oh, my.
You could have told me that you knocked your teeth out. Like, that's fine. You know, it's not your fault.
Oh, I can't believe that this is happening to me right now.
I mean, you don't have to be embarrassed. It's fine. It's okay. Like, I mean, I'm not judging you.
It's not fun. My 2 front teeth are missing. I don't need anybody looking at that.
Believe me, like I understand. Like, you know, sometimes something like that happens. You don't want to look like, you know, weird and off-putting, but I mean, it's an accident. You didn't like set out to like knock out your front teeth by yourself. Like,
Look, I appreciate everything you said, but I just want to get it fixed.
yeah, I mean, I get it. That's fine. Like, if you want to take the time that it needs to, like, you know, get your new choppers in and stuff, that's fine with me. I'm just so relieved. The reason you weren't calling me back was because I kissed my cousin. Like,
See? Danielle, he's actually happy to know that you knocked your teeth out. He's excited about that.
I'm glad I could give him that comfort.
Danielle, would you like to go out on a second date with James? We will pay for it. Once your teeth get better.
Yes, I would love to go out with James again once I
Awesome.
get my teeth back.
There you go.
Awesome.
There you go, James.
Oh.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see you again. And if you need help, you know, while you're convalescing with your new teeth or whatever, I'd be down for helping.
If you want him to feed you baby food, he'll do that for you.
Oh, what a romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Danielle, while you're in there for your new teeth and stuff, see about the boobs.
Oh, come
Maybe-
on, Flag.
I don't know. It's time to make some changes in your life, I think.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Women love an artist. As a matter of fact, that's why it's called the Mona Lisa. Not a lot of people know that, because when Leonardo da Vinci painted it, all the ladies saw it and moaned. Little known art fact.
Oh,
and
thank you for our art education this morning.
sounds like we have a modern day Da Vinci on the phone with us. His name is Nathan, and I say that because Nathan apparently took the girl he wants to call today to a painting class.
Oh,
and
fun.
Nathan, did she moan?
A little.
What?
Nice.
Come on,
Right.
Nathan. Not
Yeah.
right off the top, all right? Listen, we got to work up to that kind of information.
I mean, I'm a good artist. What can I say?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Before you tell us about the date, first of all, what's her name?
Her name is Madeline.
Madeline. All right. And how did you meet Madeline?
We met online.
Okay.
Cool.
And what stood out about her?
I gotta say, she just kind of had these eyes, these nurturing eyes that kind of resonated with me. And
Okay. Good. I'm glad you described the eyes. I thought you were just going to leave it at she had these eyes. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You don't have very high standards, do you, Nathan?
no, it did. It was really her eyes, and they stuck out to me.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, is that how you opened with her, like with a compliment about her eyes?
I did. I mean,
Good.
It worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, other than you hitting her up online about her eyes, obviously you guys went out. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the phone for a second date. Tell us about your date.
well, I don't know. I thought it was something that we could talk and be interactive, so we did an art class with like wine and yeah.
And had you ever done one of those painting classes before?
I had once before.
Okay.
Yeah, not as a date.
Well, how'd it go as a date, other than just painting with your bros?
I mean, I thought pretty well.
Was there like a moment that sticks out about the date, whether that's good or bad?
Yeah, she liked my work, and she nudged me, and she was like, "You're like a modern Bob Ross," and I was like, "All right, I'll take that."
Yeah, because there is nothing sexier than Bob Ross.
No,
No,
real.
Those happy little clouds. They're very happy.
Is that all you did then? Went painting?
no. We went to go to my apartment to actually hang it up.
Oh, that is a
That's cool.
smooth transition.
Smart.
Was that your idea or hers? Because that's a pretty slick line.
You know, I said that I would like to hang it up, and she said, "Well, let's go hang it up at yours." She volunteered to come with me.
Okay.
Oh, even better.
All
Okay.
right. And who held the nail?
She did.
Hey,
All right.
Now you touched your nail, bro.
Yeah.
What happened back at the apartment? Was it on?
I made her tea, just like very relaxed, chill, and it was all good. We hung up the piece of work, and
Was that the only nailing that happened?
I know, like, get to the juicy part.
regrettably, first date, I didn't want to go too far, gentlemen.
Okay.
But after we hung it up, it was kind of weird, frankly. She told me she had to go meet her maintenance guy at her apartment.
What?
Okay, that's
Like
that's a
Yeah.
weird excuse to leave, unless she had an appointment and knew about it earlier. But you'd think
Like
she would have
an
told you that.
emergency?
I don't know. I thought that was really weird because usually maintenance guys have keys to the building, and I don't know. I thought that was really weird.
Was this like a Friday night? Was it late?
It was Friday. It wasn't crazy late. It was like 10:30, 11.
Well,
pretty late
10:30
for
or
a
11, yeah,
maintenance guy.
that is kind of late.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. We were having a good time. It just
Okay.
seemed out of the blue.
So that was it. She left to go meet her maintenance guy. And did you get a kiss or a hug or anything like that?
Yeah, I gave her a hug, and it didn't feel like, she didn't pull away or anything. It felt nice.
That's good.
And then she left.
Why do I picture her using maintenance guy in quotes, like air quotes around it when she told you?
Whoa, like she's running off to the next guy or something?
I don't
Or
know.
something else?
Yeah.
Something other than you.
Wow.
Anything other
Yeah.
than you is what it sounds like. Have you talked to her since she left?
I haven't heard from her at all. No text, call in about 4 days.
And you've tried to get a hold of her?
I've definitely tried to get a hold of her.
So it seems like an excuse then. What do you think could have gone wrong?
Well, the only thing is, I like really strong teas, and I do, teas can have effect. And my experience, girls don't love, using the bathroom. So maybe that was just her quick idea to get out and
Because of
she
the
could go home and
teas?
use the bath. Well, I mean, there are some teas that, do a number on your system.
Oh, tease.
And it-
I couldn't tell if you were
Yeah.
saying tease or cheese. Both can cause
Tease,
problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're thinking maybe you gave her tea and it had a laxative effect and she's embarrassed now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well,
All right.
we'll
Well,
play a song and then come back and call her and see if that is the reason she's not calling you back, all right?
All right, that'd be awesome.
Okay, hang on. We'll get your second date right after this. Right in the middle of a second date, and if you're just joining us, Nathan is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Madeline. They went out to an art class together and actually went back to his place to hang up the art, and that ends up being all that happened. They literally hung up the art. She had some tea, and then she made probably one of the lamest excuses to get out of a date that we've heard in second date history. So congratulations, Nathan. You have now made the record books and getting blown off in the worst way possible.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's an honor.
She told Nathan she had to leave at like 10 or 11 o'clock on a Friday night because she had to let a maintenance guy into the building.
You know, even she in her head was like, really? A maintenance guy? That's all I
Yeah.
could think of?
And now Nathan is not getting a call back. All right, Nathan, we're going to try to get her on the phone. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Be prepared, Nathan, because I have a feeling you did something really wrong that you're very clueless about.
All right, well, let's find out.
Okay, all right, here we go. I'm going to dial her phone number right now.
Hello?
Hi, is this Madeline?
Yes?
Hey, Madeline, how are you? This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm okay. What's this about?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. I'm calling you today because we got an email into our show about you.
What? Why?
Another good question. You're full of good questions, Madeline. Because we do a segment on our show. It's called The Second Date. That's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them back after, they can email us to get you on the phone and ask what happened. And we got an email about you from a dude named Nathan.
What? Nathan?
Yes. Do you remember going out with a guy named Nathan?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nathan emailed us because he said he had a really fun time with you. And he thinks that your excuse to leave late on a Friday night that the maintenance guy needed to be let into your building was just a really horrible excuse to get out of the date. And we all agree with him, by the way.
Yeah.
That sounds like the biggest excuse ever.
I don't remember what excuse I used. I already blocked him. I don't understand why you're calling me. I don't.
You've even blocked him?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
He said that you guys went back to his apartment. Was there something creepy in there?
It just freaked me out. It was just really weird.
Can you tell us what was weird?
I just got this really bad vibe when I walked in. The place was just super clean. Like, it was just weird. I got a really bad vibe and creepy feeling.
Was there like something specific? Because super clean and he sounds like a nice guy who didn't want to push you to do anything you weren't ready for on a first date.
After an art class.
Yeah.
I just got this eerie feeling when I walked in. It was like serial killer clean, like sterile clean, like everything wiped out, not a speck of dust. It was just so strange. No guy's apartment's that clean. It's just,
So you're saying his place was too clean and it creeped you out?
yeah.
That's it? He had a clean place and that's why...
No, you got to understand though, it wasn't just clean. Like, it was like a team of people came and wiped this place clean of fingerprints. It was just weird. And you know when you just get that feeling inside, it's like something bad happened here.
What?
I need to go.
It made you think what? Do you think he's a serial killer or something?
No, I don't know, but I'm just saying it was way too clean and
Something's wrong with that.
Maybe he's just, one of those OCD types that really like a clean house. Or maybe he read the decluttering book that everybody reads. And
it's not that clean unless you just moved in and took the plastic off of everything. There was nothing out of place. It's like a museum.
I think he
All
sounds
right.
dreamy. Can he move into my house and improve some things that I've got going on?
Go for it. That's on you. Be my guest. I don't want to be anywhere near him.
What about on the phone with him?
No, I don't even want to talk to him.
Oh, that's a shame. Because he's actually on the other line listening right now and wants to talk to you.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Unless he hung up. Nathan, are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh my god.
Hi, Madeline.
Hi, Nathan. I guess you heard all that.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with my apartment being so clean.
It might not be a problem. It's unusual, and I'm just not used to that. And so, yeah.
Madeline, you're being really nonchalant when you were basically just accusing the guy of scrubbing his house because there was maybe dead bodies earlier in the evening.
She didn't know he was on the phone.
Wait, but that's what it sounded like. Like you're getting rid of all fingerprints. Nathan, have you killed anyone in your apartment?
Be
I
honest.
have not.
I'm sorry. I just got a weird vibe when I came in, and
Madeline, why would you want to be dirty?
Oh.
Why would you want that?
What?
I don't. I'm just saying your place is like so clean. It's just freaky.
I mean, I have had people comment on how clean it is.
Oh.
but I don't like dirty things. Dirty things really upset me.
Whoa.
Okay, so
Okay,
now
that did
I'm
sound a little
starting
crazy.
to get a
Okay.
little bit on Madeline's
Yeah.
side now,
That was
Nathan.
kind of creepy.
See? I'm not crazy.
I
Nathan,
don't think he meant it like
yeah.
that, you guys.
did you mean it in the way that it sounded? Because it sounded super creepy the way you said that,
Yeah,
Nathan.
you said upsets you instead of a noise.
No, I didn't mean to be creepy.
You guys, give this guy, Madeline, I feel like you're missing out on possibly a really good guy because you're making a lot of implications on just a clean house.
I can clean my own house. Seriously.
Why?
I mean, would you rather have a dirty boy? Because I've known dirty boys, and I refuse to be a dirty boy.
What? Why is he like...
Are you just messing with us now, Nathan?
defend
Nathan,
him.
are you like doing this on purpose?
Doing what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, never mind.
I mean, I've told you, if dirt is bad, it's the enemy. And if I see dirt, I will get rid of it. I like a clean apartment.
Get rid of it?
See, guys, what happens if I come in and my shoes are a little dirty or something like that? Like if we did.
There will be no dirty shoes in my apartment.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
Because I would ask you to take them off. I just don't like dirty things.
Okay.
But Nathan, what happens if we're eating and I drop something or spill something or make a mess? Then what?
Then we'll clean it up right away.
Okay.
You think you're going to get angry at me?
I do not get angry. I just clean the dirt.
This is so strange.
Yeah. Huh.
Talk about a deep freeze.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, you're obviously passionate about cleaning.
Huh.
Very. Madeline, listen, if you come over again, I will show you that we can make something dirty together, and then I will clean it up.
Okay. Sounds like a great second.
Yeah, it does. On that note, I'm just going to ask you, Madeline, would you like to go out with Nathan on a second date? We will pay for it, even if
say
it's
no.
cleaning supplies.
As tempting as that is, I'm okay to not go.
Yeah.
You
I
sure?
feel like trusting your gut may not be a bad choice for you.
Well, Madeline, I'm really bummed that you'd rather date a dirty boy than me. You're making a mistake.
Stop saying dirty boy.
No, just...
All right, Madeline, so take care, because the dirty will be judged. Goodbye.
What? Oh my God.
Okay, I think you need to do more than just block him.
Madeline, are you still there?
I'm a little freaked out and scared.
Yeah,
I-
I'm sorry.
I got rid of him with the blocking, and here you guys opened that back up like freaking Pandora's box.
He doesn't know anything about you other than your phone numbers and stuff, right?
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. He probably doesn't even know my last name. I blocked him on everything.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
that's
All right.
safe.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you are safe. And I feel sorry for all the dirty boys out there right now because Nathan sounds like he might be fired up to do some cleaning tonight. I hope not.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The girl on the phone for a second date update today had her first date at one of the craziest places possible. People are popping pills left and right. Lots of group activity, if you know what I mean. And everybody's inhibitions are lowered. Mostly because of dementia. She went to the retirement home. Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how all those things are the same.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they're having fun over there.
Kara is on the phone, and apparently her first date with this dude was at the retirement home. Want to hear more about that in a second. That's an interesting date. Kara, how are you?
I'm okay.
The first thing that comes to my mind is you're like a gold digger dating a 92-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Oh, I hope that's true.
You're into old
No. The guy, I went on a date with a guy who volunteered there.
Oh, he's
okay.
a good person.
How'd you meet him?
Well, okay, we met on an app, and he was funny, and we got along. Like he plays a bunch of team sports, like he does a bunch of like those kind of leagues, and I do too, and it's fun. So we kind of talked about that stuff, and we think we may have played each other before.
That's
so
awesome.
It's kind of funny.
Okay.
So how did he strike up the idea to go on a date at the retirement home?
Well, that wasn't it. He was like, "Let's meet up," and he just said a street corner.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's scary. You meet a dude on an app, and he's like, "Just meet me at the corner of whatever and whatever."
I mean, pretty much, but I didn't read it like that.
Oh,
Okay. Like that's when he texted, so it didn't sound creepy at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he wanted to surprise me, and I was up for it. So
yeah, because surprises can be fun.
Yeah.
They can also be scary.
Yeah.
Either one. But this turned out to be a fun surprise, huh?
Yeah. So we first met up, and we walked for a bit, and then he just said, "I'm going to bring you somewhere." So I was like, okay. And I thought, well, we're going to a restaurant or something. And instead, that's when he took me to a retirement home. And I was like, oh,
what?
Okay. Yeah. He said he volunteers there sometimes. And then I was like skeptical, like that this was going to be fun at all. Like I just thought it was going to be lame.
Yeah, of course.
Like, and he was going to try to teach me something or whatever, and like a life lesson.
Oh my God.
Change diapers.
But did he know all the, was he friends with all the old people in there?
Yes. Yeah. It turned out to be sort of cool. Like,
Okay, so he's there all the time.
I would fall instantly in love with him.
Really?
Oh my God. Old people are so cute, and like
They're cute, but the smell.
someone
Yeah.
who volunteers and
They're cute when they're
befriends them.
contained.
Oh, you guys.
When they're contained, when they're not like out walking in your way or screwing up
No.
airport lines,
feel
things
like
like
they-
that. Yeah, if
feel
you
like
keep
little-
them in a confined space, old people can be very,
You guys are awful.
very nice. So, did you enjoy the retirement home?
yeah. I mean, my grandfather passed away pretty recently, and it kind of reminded me of him, and that was cute. And I don't know. And he was sweet. Like, Corey was sweet. He was nice to them. They really got him, and we ate dinner with them. Like, it was a wholesome time. Like, we played card games. It was all, like, but we had one kind of awkward moment. And it was like this woman who lives there. She was like, "Are you a boyfriend and girlfriend?" And we sort of said, "No, this is kind of our first date." And she was like, "Well, you should kiss." So
Yeah,
What?
Granny.
Whoa.
Yeah, she wanted some action.
They're
Yeah.
feisty
No,
over
they
there.
are fighting. You've heard about the STD reports
Yeah,
at these
they
senior
have.
citizens' home. They're
lot
there for
there.
a reason.
Apparently, you got a watcher
Yeah.
in that retirement home. So, did you guys make out in front of him?
no, I mean, it was just sort of this awkward peck on the cheek,
Oh, cute.
And then the lady, she clapped.
Oh, that is kind of
That's really sweet. Why was that awkward, though?
It was just like, like, are you boyfriend and girl? It was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't
can see
know.
that part.
And you've never
Yeah.
kissed, and it's like, kiss each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then being forced to kiss with old peering eyes
Yeah.
looking at you.
So was that the most uncomfortable moment of the evening?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. And then when we were leaving, he walked me back to my car, and he kissed me for real.
Aw.
Cool.
Oh.
And that old lady popped up from the car seat in the back and was like, "Yeah, good job."
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd really get after it.
Yeah.
Take off his shirt.
No.
No, she says no. How was the kiss?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't like a big thing, but it was just really nice. It was like first date kiss.
Okay.
Got it.
But now it's been a week, and he's like, we're texting here and there, but he's not asking me out again.
Okay, and if you tried to like hint, or have you asked him out?
No, but it just feels kind of like I've been here before. Like, when you're on these apps, like you go out like it's your job, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, and I can tell that he's not really in any hurry to go out again. Like something's off, and I don't know what that is. So that's why I wanted you guys to help me find out like what's up.
And you were kind and excited about all the old people, right? Because maybe this is like some sort of test that he does with women to see.
Well, it could be, but at the same time, like it was just so nice. Like we just kind of hung out and played cards and like talked about stuff, and it was just really.
It was easy.
Yeah. There wasn't any, like, in the back of my mind now I'm thinking, was that a test? I don't know, but I don't think so. It just didn't, it seemed like it was just like, this is something that's important to him.
But
Okay.
you were
Okay.
good with the old folks. You didn't try to like fight one of them.
No.
All right, well, we'll play a song and then come back and call him and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just joining us, Kara is on the phone, and Kara told us all about her first date with a dude named Corey. They spent it in heaven's waiting room.
Oh my gosh! Don't say it like
Well,
that.
I mean, that's a nice thing.
Otherwise,
Take a number.
known as a rest home.
Yeah.
Because Corey, I guess, the dude that she went out with, volunteers at that rest home, and he wanted to take her on a date there so they could spend time with some of the people that live there, and they just hung out, had dinner, played cards, and she said it was actually a lot of fun. And Kara, I don't want you to blow this. I want you to get a second date. I really do.
Okay.
Why are you so invested?
Well, because, Kara, you have an opportunity here that I don't think you realize, all right? Retirement homes are really a great opportunity if you can get in, because you can steal a lot of stuff from those people. Yeah, they, like jewelry and stuff, they don't even know what they have. Like, you can really, and once you're on the inside, it's hard to get in there. Now that you're on the inside, this could be a great opportunity, not only for love, but also to acquire some awesome jewelry.
You are sick.
Okay.
What are they gonna do? Chase after you?
Oh my
Nope.
God.
Nope.
No,
You
they're
guys
not.
are awful. I mean, I thought at least you were going to say you're going to try to get in on somebody's will, not just up and steal from them when they're still alive.
I got a buddy who works on one. He sells bedpans wholesale. Makes a ton of
Yeah.
cash. So it's a great financial opportunity for you as well, Kara.
Good tip. Good tip. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any last words before we call Corey and see why he isn't calling you back for a second date?
This one felt like a little different. Like it was like we had chemistry. It felt like it was going in the way that we'd like go out again at least. But it's just been fading, and I don't know why. And
Okay. So you like this guy, and you definitely felt potential.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to dial his phone number right now and see if we can get him on the phone. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Corey, please?
Speaking. Who's this?
Corey, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show. How you doing today, sir?
What? Why that?
I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Corey.
I'm okay. Why are you guys calling me?
Well, because we got an email about you from one of our listeners, and they just said we had to call Corey and talk to him. I don't know why I said it like that either.
True. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think you guys might have like the wrong person.
Well, I have a phone number here with this number that I just called, and it says their name is Corey, and it says that they volunteer at a retirement home from time to time.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so you're old folks Corey.
That's what they call him.
I guess.
I don't think Corey's finding
don't
any of
think
this
so.
very amusing.
Sorry, he's probably confused.
Corey,
Yeah.
we're calling because we do a segment on our show. It's called the Second Date Update. So we got an email from Kara, who you went on a date with to that retirement home.
Right.
Right. And Kara wants to know why you haven't asked her out on a second date yet.
She says that like she can sense that you're like falling off.
Well, to be honest, I think like if I was to go out with her, it would be more casual than a relationship. I don't know if she's like exactly the right girl for me.
She's got a friend
So wait,
vibe,
is
or-
it like you're not looking for a relationship or it's her?
Well, I am because I am single, but at the same time, like, gosh, how do I say this? Just the ladies at the old folks home, I volunteer there a lot, and they're like a big part of my life. They just don't think that she was right for me.
They
Oh,
don't-
wow.
Wait, what?
So they're hating.
They're blocking her?
They just noticed a few things, and they just didn't think that it was in my best interest or that it would work out. Like, over the years, I've been volunteering there a lot, and it's kind of like having numerous grandparents, like, looking out for you and giving
Wait,
you
hold up.
advice. And
What specifics did they give the old ladies on why she isn't right for you?
some of the stuff they said was, like, her outfit. It might have been a little inappropriate.
All right,
thought-
Judgy
Her
Betty's.
outfit?
Was it?
And did you tell them that she didn't know she was going to a retirement home? She probably would have dressed differently if she knew that that was what was on the agenda.
I did, but
What was she wearing? Like a
Yeah,
miniskirt?
seriously.
she was wearing a skirt and, like, had her midriff showing a little bit, you know?
Okay, so she's just kind of sexy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she dressed like for a first date, you guys. Like,
They kind of didn't like that her skirt was so low and that her belly button was showing. I can kind of see that. You know?
Yeah. Because not
Okay.
everybody has a belly button in the world.
You mean
but
they don't
whatever.
dress like that in the retirement home? That's
Yeah.
how I pictured it.
I mean, everybody has a belly button, but you don't go around flashing it, you know?
Okay. Besides that, did they name other things?
Well, now, these are their words, not mine. But remember their words. They said the makeup was too hookery.
What?
Hookery.
Who are these judgy old women? Okay.
Sounds just like old women to me. I'd take the judgy off it. That sounds like how they would talk, I think.
Guys, not.
She's
no.
hookery.
Why did you not defend her or stand up for her?
I'm just saying these old ladies, they give me good advice, you know, and I can't have them disgusted by my significant other or like the girl that I'm in a
Disgusted?
relationship with.
Now we've moved on
So-
to disgusted?
You said earlier it's like you have a bunch of grandparents, so if you date her seriously, you feel like you'd be letting down your grandmas, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like you really need to school them in how a woman's dress does not indicate whether or not she sleeps around.
I mean, like you've been around old people, it's hard to change their minds. And also, who am I to argue with them? Like they have so much experience, you know? Like
Yeah. Who knows how many hookers they've been with? Probably a lot, you know? You have no idea. They might be very schooled in that. Well, guess what, Corey? You know who might find this information interesting? Kara, and she's actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. Are you still there, Kara?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you pissed, Kara? I'm pissed for you.
Well, first of all, this was a surprise. You said the date was a surprise. So I'm thinking we're going to a bar. And, like, it's like, you know my pictures. You know what I look like. You didn't think that maybe it would be a good idea to let me know, like, I don't know, like, dress like you would if we were going to church. Of course, that would have been an interesting, like, text back and forth.
Yeah, that would have you probably wouldn't have gone on that date.
Okay, I think you need to calm down a little bit, all right? Just calm down.
Calm down? Hookers don't calm down.
Those weren't even my words. Those were their words. I'm just explaining what had happened.
Also, like, my outfit wasn't a big, like, it was a skirt and, like, midriff, like, kind of shows, but not really. Like, it wasn't even, I mean, you've seen my pictures. Like, there's crazier looks than what I had on that day. So,
She could be way more hookery if she wanted.
well, yeah, pretty much.
I'm just saying you did dress a little provocatively, and they kind of picked up on that, and I have to kind of go with that because they're conservative, a little bit like me, you know? So
Conservative like you. Okay. So they think you're, like, pure as the driven snow, right? Is that the thing? Like, what if I told them that we had phone sex? And what if I told them all the filthy things you said on the phone?
Oh,
Busted!
Hey, Corey.
Would they think that you're conservative now?
Oh, Corey.
Yeah, what would the
aren't
gals down
you?
at the retirement home do with that knowledge?
Somebody's a little two-faced.
well, that was something that was private within us. That wasn't out in the public. We're not going out like that.
Okay. So it's cool for you. Can I say this stuff on the radio? I probably shouldn't. You know what? I'm not going to.
Go for it. We can
Like,
beep out
yeah.
whatever you
Look,
say.
I'm going to say I would appreciate if you didn't tell everybody what I said because that was private and that was between you and me. I thought we had like a moment, you know, not to be
A
shared with the
secret,
whole world.
dirty moment. Yeah. No, I'm gonna because if I'm hookery, then obviously I bring that out in you because you couldn't keep from talking about the size of your and what you were gonna do with it.
Again, that was private between you and I, like a moment.
Yeah, but now I want to know, what are you going to do with it?
How big is it, bro?
Yeah.
They want to compare notes.
Look, I'm just saying, the ladies, maybe they do have a point, because look at this. This is the type of behavior that they're talking about, you know?
Oh, okay.
Again, she's the hookery one here.
This is so ridiculous. Like, do you know what year it is? Do you have
They're
any
talking
idea?
about our private
Like,
things, like, out on the radio in front of millions of people.
you called me a hooker on the radio, so
I didn't call you that, and I did not ever say that, because that's not what I feel.
His old gal pals did.
right.
Hey, Kara?
I was being completely honest about
part of his mahjong group.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the question anyway. Corey, would you go on a second date with Kara? We'll pay for it.
You know what? I don't think that would be the best idea.
Yeah. I think all of this is not working out like how anybody planned.
That's fine. You're a nice guy. Like, I wish you could time travel to go find someone for you. So,
Sweetheart, you're on the phone, on the radio, trying to get a hold of me. So maybe you should time travel and go back.
To where?
to what? To what?
So before you made this phone call and embarrassed yourself in front of the world. No, I don't want to go out with you.
That's a short time.
You can try to get defensive. You can try to be angry, but sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not responding to
Okay.
your calls, and maybe you should stop trying to get a hold of me through the media.
The only thing that I really find offensive is that you called us the media.
Yeah, the
That's
media.
weird to me.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Welcome back to the timeless love story, Rompless in Seattle.
I love this movie.
Starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan,
Oh.
two star-crossed lovers. Sorry, this doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
Why? I
Can you
liked
just stop the
it.
music? Can you stop it?
What?
Sorry.
What's going
I messed up. It just didn't feel good. Let me try it again, okay?
Okay.
Welcome back, kittens,
What? Whoa.
to Rompless in Seattle.
Hey.
Starring Tom Wanks
Oh, Tom Waits.
and Meg Ryder.
Oh,
Hey, all
this
right.
is- this
If you're
is a-
under 18, tune away
Yeah.
right now.
This is the story that everybody wanted to hear. Oh, okay, you know what? Cut the music again.
Oh,
It's
I
not
like
working.
that one too.
It's not working. I'm
Dude.
just gonna recap normal, okay?
Oh, okay.
I can't.
People were really into that one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll do an X-rated version of the show later. But
Okay.
if you're just tuning in, one of our listeners, Jen, showed up 20 minutes late to her date with a guy named Tim. Shortly after that, she found out he was a mechanic and asked him to take a look at her car, which was apparently having issues. And Tim, being a nice guy, actually did. And she's worried it may have killed the vibe of the date
Yeah.
because now he's ghosting her.
Right.
And not in the Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore kind of
The
way.
hot way.
No, just the normal sad way. So she needs our help. Jen, did we miss anything with your date there?
No, he's just like, he's a really nice guy and I want to date him.
So wait,
Aw,
that's sweet. It is
cute.
sweet. I don't know that we asked. Have you tried to contact him? Like text or
Yeah. Yeah, I've reached out and he hasn't really responded.
Did you when you texted him, was it all about your car or were you asking him to see you again?
I might have mentioned it, but I didn't ask him to do anything, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Me and my car miss you.
Yeah. Well, let's just give Tim a call and we'll not talk about car stuff. We're just going to focus on getting you another date. You ready to do this?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Hello,
Hi, I'm looking to speak with a guy named Tim.
this is Tim.
Are you
Are you
asleep?
You
Tim?
okay?
Are you a small mouse?
How come there's several people on this call? What is this?
Oh, we're a.
Yeah, we're a morning radio show. It's called Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. How you doing?
Okay. What's
Is this a bad time?
no? What's going on? What's up?
Well, we're doing a segment on our show called A Second Date. That's where if you go out with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can reach out to our show and we'll call that person for you to try and figure out the reason why.
Okay.
Okay? And so you recently went out with a woman who had a great time with you, and now she's hoping to get back in touch, but she's been having trouble reaching you. Her name's Jen.
Ah, yes, Jen.
Yeah.
I do know Jen.
Yeah,
That's good.
Jen realizes that she probably didn't give the best first impression on the date.
Yeah.
Or second impression or third impression.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very true statement right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She feels bad.
Yeah. She told us about how everything played out, that she showed up late and that she asked you to go look at her car. And she's remorseful about how that played out. But she's hoping that you'll give her another shot.
I don't know. I don't know.
She really liked you, Tim, and she realizes that it may have come off as she, I don't know, she was trying to use you for free car mechanic labor, but that isn't the case.
Yeah, I don't know if I would totally agree.
Uh-oh.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the date was going pretty good for a while. You know, it seemed like we had things in common. Like we were talking about books and video games and stuff. But like as soon as I mentioned the fact I'm a mechanic, it was like the conversation just flipped instantly, and like that was all what the conversation was about. It was about her and her car.
Oh, geez.
I mean, I can see how that would be a frustrating thing, but it sounds like, from what she told us, there's a lot of problems with her car. So maybe it was just a top-of-mind situation.
Can you blame her?
Well, it was just weird. I mean, like, sure, I'll look at your car, and it was like dinner almost ended like instantly as soon as I said that. It felt like it ended way too early. She's like, "Do you have cash?
Really?
You could just pay for this right now." We didn't even like wait for her to get money back. It was almost like abrupt ending to the dinner. It was so fast.
So she threw her cash on the table and ran out and was like, "This is it. You can fix it. The check engine light's been on."
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like that. It wasn't as drastic as like actually running out of there, but like, you know, as soon as we got to her car, like the moment we walked up, I was like, I knew I had made a mistake, and it was like the thing was totaled. Like I didn't know what to do. I told her it shouldn't even be on the road.
What?
Whoa!
What do you?
Yeah, what do you mean totaled?
Like the wheel was kind of wobbly, and like the tail lights had been smashed in. It was like she had been in a pretty serious wreck, and she was trying to tell me how one of her friends said, you know, it's probably just something that can get done with a few repairs. But I'm like, what? I'm pretty much an expert on this stuff. I've been doing this for a while. I'm like, that's a totaled car. Like your car is done.
You can't throw around with a neck brace on.
Yeah.
Not what you want to hear.
The bumper is just gone.
And I was just trying to be honest with her when I said that I couldn't help. And this is like, things just started getting weird then, because then her voice started raising, and she was like trying to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about, and how like her friend was saying that it was totally repairable. And it was just like, whoa, take a chill pill here. I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, give you my professional advice.
Well, do you think, I mean, maybe it wasn't that she was reacting to you. It was just like really shocking for her to hear that, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like as a mechanic, you must hear stuff like that all the time whenever you give people bad news about their car.
Well, totally. I mean, we do, but that wasn't even the end of it. Like on top of that, she was insistent on borrowing my car.
What?
I'm like, are you serious right now?
Wait, hold up.
For where?
Yeah, what did she say?
She didn't even, she's like, hey, you got to at least let me borrow your car so I can get around for a bit.
What?
That night right there, she wanted to borrow your car?
Yeah.
This girl is genius.
Genius.
Wait, was she joking? I mean, that had to have been a joke that maybe you just didn't read right.
No, I mean, it wasn't a joke at all. She said to me, you're a mechanic. You have access to lots of cars. You can just drive one of those for a few days.
Oh my gosh.
Did you, I feel bad asking, but did you let her?
No, I did not, but I did get her a tow truck because I am a nice guy and I had AAA. So I was like, the least I can do is not let this girl drive in this thing again because this thing is like messed up.
Wow.
So wait,
What? Took her car away from her?
Well, it wasn't good to drive, Alexis.
Yeah.
It was falling apart. It was in danger on the road.
Sounds like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
All right, Alexis.
Tim, when we spoke to Jen, she never told us the back end of that story. She just said that you looked at her car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth of it. I mean,
Oh boy.
That is so crazy. What is she, like, does she really want to date with you then? Now I'm even questioning her motives.
Well, maybe we should ask her because I need to tell you, Tim, that Jem's been on the other line listening and she wants to talk to you.
Hi,
are you kidding me? Like, that's, hi, Jen.
Look, I guess I'm sorry that you felt used, but like, I don't even understand what you're so upset about.
Whoa.
I was just asking for help.
You weren't just asking for help. I mean, you were basically, it felt like you were demanding to use my car and like instructing me on how to do my own job.
Like, you just said, like, I'm in this undrivable car, and you're, like, an expert,
Yeah.
and I have you in front of me, and I'm not going to ask you, like, hey, can you look at this? Like, and then, yeah, I asked to borrow your car because it's, like, 10:30 at night. What do you want me to do, like, walk around at night by myself? You just told me that I shouldn't be behind the wheel of this car.
Yeah, I could have gave you a ride home instead of you borrowing my car.
I just thought you had, like, options for other vehicles, and if you could help me out, why wouldn't you want, you know, we just had, like, a great date.
Well, Jen, when a plumber comes to your house to fix a broken pipe, they don't stay at the plumber's house while they fix it for you.
Well, I wasn't dating a plumber, okay? I was on a date with a mechanic.
No, that's not my point.
And you're on a date. Like, he owes you nothing. You're
Dates are like friends, and friends help you do things.
You're not friends yet. You're not friends yet. It's one date. You don't get that. He doesn't.
I feel like he did help. He
No.
paid for a tow truck.
It's a very entitled thing to do to assume that this guy should loan you his car.
Yeah.
I just thought he seemed really nice and helpful. I don't understand what the big deal is. I was going to say we could just keep dating, but I don't even know if I want to anymore.
Oh,
wow.
I don't know that option was on the table.
Yeah. Really,
Tim?
It sounds like you overstepped, Jen.
Maybe as long as you stop texting me about your car issues, I don't need to update, you know?
Oh, you're still doing that?
I told him it was still not going great.
He's assuming I actually wanted to know the update.
I thought you were a nice guy, and you're acting like such a jerk right now. Like, all I needed was some help. Like, you're making it such a huge thing that, like, oh, you're a mechanic, and I asked you for advice. Like,
She has a point.
Well, sorry to say, if I'm such a big jerk, I guess you don't need to reach out to me anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not wrong.
I mean,
You're
Tim,
not wrong.
you have to ask yourself, am I car shaming her right now?
I mean, I think she did a good job of car shaming herself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
wow.
I mean, the conversation isn't going great right now, but I still need to ask, Tim, would you like to go out on a second date with Jen? We will pay for it.
I'm going to have to say no, thank you.
Shocking.
Oh, man, I felt that
Shocking.
chemistry.
I know. And
Okay.
how would Jen get there anyway? She doesn't have a
Yeah,
car.
that's a good point.
Uber.
How about this, Tim? Would you be willing to give Jen a friends and family discount on fixing her car?
I mean, if her car was actually fixable, then yes, but the thing it's a piece of junk.
It's fine. I'll take it to a real expert.
It's totaled. Everyone's going to tell you that.
Sounds like your friend is one, so just take it right over to your friend.
We've heard about hundreds of dates on this show, and I can tell you, based on everything that we've learned, the single sexiest thing a woman can do on a date
Okay.
is be prompt.
What? I
That's
thought
right.
you were going to say, like, be yourself, be confident.
No, show up on time.
Oh.
You can't spell prompt without romp. That's not an accident. They did that on purpose. Actually, 4 out of 5 relationship experts say if your legs are in the door on time, they'll be in the air 3 hours later.
Hey, all right.
Is that the secret?
Yeah, I read it. That's the experts saying
Okay,
that.
wow.
Well-
The experts have gotten very naughty.
There's some saucy experts out there. Unfortunately, for one of our listeners, Jen, she was not prompt during her first date.
Oh,
Legs
God.
on the ground the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah, so unattractive.
So, of course, she went rompless, and now she needs our help. So, Jen, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Tell us about the guy that you were not prompt for. What was his name?
His name is Tim. I met him online.
Okay.
He's really cute.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, how late were you to this date?
I wasn't that late, like 20 minutes. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
That's late enough to be like
if you give a heads up, did you give him a heads up?
Well, that's kind of a funny thing. So I was driving there, and he texted me and said, I'm here, and I'm running really late. And like in my head, I responded to him, and I texted him back.
In your
I
head.
guess I didn't do it with my phone. And I got there, and he was walking out of the restaurant.
It's not a good look.
I said, where are you going? And he was like, I thought you stood me up. And I said, but I texted you. And he showed me his phone, and he's like, no, you didn't.
Oh, my God.
That is embarrassing.
Dude, I understand that, though. I do that all the time where I respond to people and then I didn't actually type it out.
Or worse, you type it out and then you don't hit send.
Right, either way. And, like, you're frantic because you're late. So you're like, I don't have time to respond to this.
It's like in your
Exactly.
folder. Oh.
What did Tim say when that happened?
I mean, he was cool about it. He said, yeah, okay. And so we still went in and had dinner together.
Oh, that's really nice. That's got to be a pretty good guy if he's willing to look past that.
Was he able to reset his attitude, though? Because I assume if you're walking out of a restaurant thinking that you're stood up, you're in pretty bad mood.
Yeah.
No, he was super nice. We had a great conversation. I mean, the one other thing that was kind of weird, I guess, was I didn't know that he's a mechanic. I learned that through the course of conversation. So I have been having some issues with my car. And I asked if he could just take a look at it for me.
Oh, wow.
Wow, You don't ask someone to do their job on the date. That's like asking a comedian to tell you a joke.
I mean, I can't blame you though. Like, take the help.
Oh,
You
okay.
get it. I mean,
But wait,
But you're already 20 minutes late to the date. You show up, you find out that he's a mechanic, and then you're like, hey, by the way, while we're here.
Will you check the dipstick?
Yeah, go check under the hood.
Yeah, I guess I think it was a big deal. And he was nice about it. And he did, and we walked down the street, and we looked at my car.
Wow, he's really nice. He's really nice.
Or maybe he really wanted to. So there is a chance that he wanted to show off what he knows. You know, like he could see it as his opportunity to be like, oh, cool, I
I'm
can
a
help
manly
her.
man.
Totally, like this.
Yeah, you guys sure know how men think.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be positive here. Like, was he the one that suggested to walk to your car and look at it?
I mean, he agreed to.
Oh, he agreed to. Yeah, okay, that's different.
Yeah.
He told me there was like a lot of stuff wrong with my car, which I guess I should have known. And then I asked if I could like bring it by his shop.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Now this is a business transaction.
Totally.
It's not a date anymore.
You're
It doesn't
taking.
feel like it.
She's taking all the romp out of prompt. You're
She
right. There's no
is.
sexy in that.
Oh no. Okay, so
Now it's just port.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a different.
so he looked at your car
Yeah.
and told you there's a lot of problems and that you need to bring it in. How did this night end?
Well, he kind of said, like, I don't know, I have to check my schedule at, their business. And
That's a no.
I was like, okay. And then he just kind of, like, I don't know how to describe it. It just, like, fizzled out. Like, he seemed disinterested, and so we just kind of, like, left.
It fizzled out in the room, too, just now.
There was an opportunity there, Jen. You check under my car's hood. Maybe you can check under some other hoods after that.
that's not much better.
I don't think that he doesn't want to trade that
Yeah.
for.
Brooke,
I mean,
trust
he's
you
not
you do not understand how men think.
Hey, it's making a weird noise.
I don't
down
think
there.
that's right.
I've never heard my friends talk like this.
Honestly, though, Jen, I just think that you should have just left that out.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't
Yeah.
mix, I mean, for black, like, it's a terrible cliche thing to say, but, like, business and pleasure, they just don't mix together, you know?
Yeah. I guess I didn't think of it that way. I just thought, he's friendly and he'd want to help. I don't know.
And it's free, is what you were
That's
thinking.
what you
He'd
were
give me a good
thinking.
deal.
Yeah, sure.
So have you tried to reach out to Tim after the date happened?
I have, and he just, like, hasn't even really responded.
Yeah.
He gave me, like, a one-word answer once, and it stinks because I really think he's a nice guy, and I had a really great time, and I don't know. I'd love it if you guys could help me get, like, a redo.
Yeah.
All
I think
right.
I think you need a redo. I hope you've learned from your mistakes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
focus
Yeah.
on him, not on your car.
Yeah, okay. So we'll play a song.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You guys want to talk about pressure?
Yeah.
How about taking a girl out on a first date on her birthday?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to.
No, neither would I. I would run away from that. But that's what happened to Dawn, who's on the phone with us right now. Hi, Dawn.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
So your email about your date with this dude named Tim says that he took you out on your birthday for a first date?
Well, he didn't really plan it that way. Like, we met at a barbecue with some mutual friends, and we're just having a really great time. And he said, I'd actually like to ask you out Saturday, and it just so happened to be my birthday.
And he didn't go, no, I don't want to go Saturday. Nope. Thank you very much. Kind of busy.
It wasn't like I didn't have a big party all for myself. I'm not that kind of girl.
Okay.
And I did tell him, I ended up telling him after we spoke on the phone, and he opted out. He's like, if you want to go out with your friends, you can go.
Okay.
So did you feel that maybe he thought it was weird that you still wanted to go out with him?
No, I didn't because I told him why, that I don't like to celebrate. And he's like, yeah, but a lot of girls say that. And then they say mean something else. And I
That
was
is
like,
true.
no, seriously, like, let's just have a good time.
And then they mean bring me flowers
Yeah.
and chocolates and a puppy.
I've been burned by that a few times.
I didn't ask for all of that, but as it turns out, like, he actually did do all of it. And I was totally surprised by that.
He gave you flowers and a puppy?
Wait, what happened? What did he do?
We just, like, showed up for dinner, but when I got there, there was flowers. I mean, it wasn't like a dozen roses, but it was, flowers, and he had a little...
Well, I like how you have to shoot down the fact that he got you flowers. Like, I mean, it wasn't a dozen roses or anything. It was a few crappy little...
Not shooting it
Not
down.
like that. I meant, like, not serious, 'cause, like, that would have been pretty expensive for a first, there's just no way I would have...
And creepy on a first date if he had brought in roses.
Did he get you a present, too?
Yeah, but it was like, it could have been for anybody. Like, it was a couple movie passes.
Okay.
And then, like, a stuffed animal, but it was like a birthday cake. So it wasn't like, like a bracelet or
diamond
anything,
earrings or anything.
Yeah, but what he's saying
like
at the
it was-
very beginning of a date is that he wants to go out with you again. Why would you give you 2 movie passes? He doesn't want you to use those on somebody else.
Well, no, it's weird. I didn't think like that. But
Good point. Now I don't like him even more.
Too subtle.
How did the date go?
it was good. I mean, he basically took care of the whole evening, and I think it was. I have a couple of food allergies, so I have to be really careful about what I ate. So I had to ask him what he ordered so I could modify the stuff, and that was really the only thing that seemed,
Wait, are we talking?
And, the waiter was fine with it. So
are we talking like food allergies, like you're just sensitive to it, or you'll go to the hospital and need an EpiPen?
I won't need an EpiPen or anything like that. It's not like shellfish or peanuts. It's mostly gluten and dairy. It just would have been better for our date if I didn't eat any of that stuff.
Right. Because you don't want to spend the whole time in the bathroom.
Yeah.
How did the date end then?
There was a little kissing at the end, and I said, "Thank you for a great evening. I think it would be, great to go out again." And he's like, "Yeah, that would be great." And I told him thank you for giving me such a great birthday, because I really am not that kind of girl. I'm not, and so.
So how many times have you tried to get hold of him since your date?
Well, in 5 days, I texted him twice and called him once.
Okay, that's not too bad.
In 5 days? Yeah, that's not too bad.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, and get your second date update, okay? Just hang on for 3.5 minutes.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update. I'm
still amazed that a guy would agree to take a girl out on her birthday for a first date. I would not want to do that in a million years. It's a lot of responsibility. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. The second part of your second date update. Dawn is on the phone with us right now, and that's what happened. She met Tim at a barbecue. Her birthday was the Saturday after. She let Tim know that it was her birthday. He still wanted to take her out. He got her flowers, and they had dinner and kissed at the end of the evening. She hasn't heard from him since.
In your mind right now, what is the worst thing that can happen in the next 3 minutes?
I just hope that it's nothing embarrassing that I did, pick my nose or something weird that I didn't know. I can't even imagine.
You often go into fits of picking your nose without knowing it? All right. Hold on, Don, okay? We're going to give him a call right now.
Yeah.
Feel free to jump in on the conversation after we've talked to him for a little while, okay?
Hello?
Hey, can I speak to Tim, please?
Speaking.
Tim, what's up, dude? How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Nice.
What's going on?
Tim, I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with a girl named Dawn. Do you remember her?
Yes. Yes, I do.
The reason that we're calling about her is she enjoyed the date you went on, but you haven't been calling her back, and she wants to know why.
That's kind of a long story. She's, I would say she's a bit on the shady side.
What?
She's on the shady side?
Yeah.
What is...
How so?
I don't know. I have some kind of good feeling about her. I just not going to deal with that.
She steal your wallet or something?
Is there a trunk full of TVs?
No. I found something out that kind of struck me weird, so...
You found something out about her?
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued.
Has she been around a lot?
That should...
Well, I don't know. You could find that out from friends and it could turn you off.
And it does matter.
Not that I know of.
Well, I just know in my experience, whenever a dude is I found something out about her, it's usually that, and you're I don't want to go out with her again.
Which is always a dude talking that is slept with more people than they can count on 8 hands.
Usually. It's a double standard, and it works fine for us. Leave us alone, Brooke.
You guys are such a-holes.
Anyway, Tim, did it scare you that the date was on her birthday? Because I don't think I'd want to go out with a girl on her birthday for a first date.
Well, at first I thought that was kind of like a challenge, kind of all right, you got a birthday on her day. Let's see if I can do something extravagant and kind of, wow her a little bit.
Whoa.
So I went all out on it, and I decided I liked her, so I wanted to go check her out on Facebook. I was going to go friend her.
Oh. Here it comes.
I know, right? I went, and there was no happy birthday messages on her Facebook.
What?
None.
She lied.
You don't know
Yeah,
that. She said
come
that she
on.
didn't think her
No.
birthdays were a big deal.
I double checked. So I thought, all right, maybe she has really bad friends or something. So I called up my friend Sean, who's friends with her on Facebook. I was like, yo, Sean, check it out. Go see if it's Dawn's birthday or not. And it wasn't.
Oh, my God.
Tim?
What's that?
Don's actually on the phone with us right now and heard everything you just said.
Oh, my God.
Should have told
Why
you.
would you?
So, how's it going there, Dawn?
That's a little awkward.
The Facebook information isn't my actual birthday.
Why lie about your birthday, though?
Well, I'm a little bit older than I put on Facebook.
Like, how much is a little bit, Dawn?
Just a couple of years. I mean, Tim's 34, so I'm close to that.
Okay, like close, like couple years, like 5 years or like 10 years?
Less than 5, more than 3.
Just give us the truth, Dawn. How old are you?
I'm actually 39. I said I was 32, but I'm 39.
Whoa, that's a huge difference.
That's not that huge of a difference.
Yes, it is.
How is 7 years in between
Yeah.
3 and 5? Did anyone else get in trouble with that math?
Wow.
Sorry.
I mean, age isn't really that big of a deal. It's more of a being honest about it kind of deal. I mean, now...
Yeah, but it was our first date, and it just so happened to be my birthday, and we didn't get into...
Look, I just really appreciate honesty. I don't like to be taken advantage of, and I want people to be straight up with me right off the
take
bat.
advantage of you, Tim. How did I take advantage of you?
With my trust.
When we met at the barbecue and on our date, you never asked me how old I was.
Would you have told him the
never
truth?
even asked me.
Would you have told him the truth if he asked you? Or would have said, like, I'm 32 for the 4th time?
It's our first date. It's our first date.
Did you leave
Like,
out
we
it?
met
What?
at a
So
barbecue.
you just don't have to worry about honesty on the first date? That's like...
I didn't lie to you. You didn't ask me how old I was. You went on Facebook. You didn't ask me. But if you're going to get like that over dramatized because you've been stalking me on Facebook, then I don't want to go out with you.
Yeah, take that, Tim.
I'm 5 years older than you. And if you can't deal with, you're the one who's making it about age. I would have told you. I don't want people to find me on Facebook, so I made a completely different birthday date. Yes, I made myself younger. And if you don't want to date me because of that, because you feel that I wasn't truthful with you, then I don't want to go out with you.
That brings me to my next point. Tim, would you like to go out with Dawn again? Because we will pay for a second date and send you guys out. Tim, would you like to go out on a second date with Dawn?
That's a pretty hard no.
No.
She brought up, come on, she brought up some really valid points.
No.
No, okay.
A-hole.
Dawn,
I'm completely fine with that.
you sure?
Of course. I'm not desperate.
I really wanted to send you guys out again and pay for it. And then, Dawn, I was going to ask you to be honest with me and let me know if I need to get a senior discount somewhere so I can get a deal. But I guess we can't do that.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
It's my experience that people get upset when you lie on your dating profile.
Yes, especially when it's a bad picture.
Yeah, anytime I've been on an online dating site and had my profile up there, people are always disappointed when I show up and they realize I'm not a 42-year-old woman who just wants to go berry picking on the weekends. And I don't get why they get so angry, you know. Yeah.
And I thought you were just going to lie about your height.
Daisy is on the phone with us, and Daisy, I guess you wouldn't say you lie on your dating profile, but you omit something on your dating profile that you think could have led to a guy not calling you back, right?
Correct, yes.
There is an important detail about Daisy that she
there
doesn't share on her dating profile. Because she met the guy on what website?
Met him on OkCupid.
All right. Which, if you're going to talk about like dating websites, that's like the Burien of dating websites. It's not quite the bottom, but it's not necessarily the best either.
Yeah. What is it? You have like 11 fingers or something?
No, I have the right number of fingers, but in addition to the right number of fingers, I also have a son. And when I did have that on my profile, when I was honest about that, I got a lot fewer responses. So now I just don't put it on there. But I do always tell the person, on like the first date. It's not like I try and keep it secret, indefinitely or anything like that.
So you're not hiding your son. You just don't want it to be something that is defining you in the world of dating.
Exactly. I just kind of want to get my foot in the door, and then I tell them. Exactly.
Is the reaction usually pretty good when you tell guys on a first date, like, oh, by the way, I have a kid. You didn't see that on my dating profile, but surprise.
It's kind of mixed. Some guys are okay with it. Some people are totally offended that, I lied on my profile.
If it were me, as soon as you told me that, you would just see a cloud of dust like in a cartoon. I'd be out of there.
I totally understand that, and that's why I tell people on the first date, because, I don't want to lie. I just want a chance to tell them face to face, because I think that sometimes can make a difference.
So what was it like when you told him on the first date, when you guys were out to dinner?
Well, his name's Alex, and we ordered dinner, and I told him after the food came, and I was just kind of like, so I have a kid. Not the smoothest way I've ever done it.
Yeah. So how's your steak? It's pretty good. I have a kid.
I have a child.
So it wasn't the smoothest way to break the news to him that you had
No, it wasn't my best.
And what did he do?
I was watching him, because I wanted to see his reaction. And he sort of stopped and just looked at me and said, "Oh, that's cool," and then sort of went on. So, I mean, it wasn't horribly positive, but it wasn't horribly negative. It was just sort of generic.
I think that's just a polite way of being ouch.
Yeah.
Really? You think so?
I think so.
Or
yeah.
maybe he's just saying, why are you being so awkward about it? That's cool. Like, you have a kid.
I don't think so. You'd want to be like, did he ask you about how old your kid is and what sort of kid it is?
He did. He asked about, is it a girl or a boy? How old is your child?
That's cool.
Well, then maybe it was, because if he didn't ask any of those questions, he was just like, oh, cool, moving on.
Yeah.
Then it was obviously something that he didn't like. But if he was asking you questions, he might have been like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How did the date end? I mean, were you guys having a good time? And
yeah, it ended nicely. I mean, he had picked me up, so at the end, he drove me home. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, which I actually liked. I thought that was really sweet and, respectful and stuff. I totally like that.
And it says, I'm not totally grossed out to touch you, but I don't want to move too fast.
And the last time you did more than that, you got pregnant.
So you didn't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was it. And then I called him the next day, and I left him a message and just said, that I had a really great time, and I appreciated how gentlemanly he was and everything like that. But he never called me back. So.
Okay. And you haven't heard anything from him. Have you tried more than just that one time?
Yeah, I called him a couple other times, but I didn't leave another message. It just went straight to voicemail, but I didn't leave another message.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, see if we can get him on the phone and get your second date update, okay?
Great, thanks.
Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Daisy is on the phone with us right now. She wants to call a dude named Alex. She met him online, okcupid.com. Mm-hmm. Daisy thinks that the date went poorly once she revealed that she has a kid, because she doesn't put on her dating profile that she is a mom, because she doesn't want to scare guys off. But you have a rule, Daisy, that you always tell them on the first date, and then they can make their judgment from there, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's the only thing you can think of that he wouldn't be calling you back, is because he doesn't want to be an insta dad.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of, because I thought we had a good time, except for, there was that. So
why would you want to talk to a guy who isn't interested in someone with a kid? I mean, you're not going to change that you have a kid.
Yeah, well, I guess I want to know for sure, and
yeah. We're just speculating. We don't know that the kid is the reason. Mm-hmm. It could be something else.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're going to call him, see if we can get him on the phone, and find out what went wrong, if anything did go wrong in your date, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Hello?
Hey, I was looking for Alex.
Yeah, this is Alex.
Alex, how you doing, man? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning on the radio station moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm fine. You're calling from the radio station?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Well, I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with a listener of ours.
That's kind of weird.
It is.
A woman named Daisy. Yeah, we'll admit it is not a normal to receive this kind of phone call. A woman named Daisy that you recently went out with emailed the show saying that she really enjoyed your time together, but you've been blowing her off and haven't been answering her phone calls. So she said, hey, can you give Alex a call and see if you can find out if I did something wrong? So that's why we're calling you, Alex.
Okay.
Do you remember going out with Daisy?
Yeah, I had dinner with Daisy.
Did you like Daisy?
We had a fine time. Dinner was fine.
Daisy told us that she doesn't put on her dating profile that she's a mom, and she kind of dropped that at dinner. Did that scare you off?
I mean, I wouldn't say that scared me off. I mean, it was a little surprising that, that's like a big part of a person's life. And like in other profiles, I feel like that information was on there. So it was a little bit shocking that she just sort of dropped that in the middle of our dinner. But, I'm not against dating someone who has a kid.
Okay, so that wasn't it then?
No.
Do you want to see her again?
Your voice just got so
Yeah, your
high.
voice got so high-pitched, dude. I'm taking that as a no, Alex. You're not necessarily into Daisy.
Honestly, the date got a little weird, and so I don't think that I would want to see her again.
Define weird, if you could.
This is weird to talk about with strangers on the phone, but towards the end of the meal, like she sort of got kind of quiet and emotional and sort of intense. And then she told me that her car was in the shop, which I knew because I had to drive. She asked me if I could pick her up, which is totally fine. But then she asked me if she could borrow some money to help pay for the car repair.
No, stop
She
it.
asked for a loan on your first date?
Like how much money?
Like $700.
Oh,
She just didn't have. She was waiting for a paycheck the next week or whatever, and she would get me back the next week. But she was in this tight spot, and it was really affecting, her kid's life and her life and whatnot.
Boy.
Oh gosh.
How did she bring that up? Did she just say, "Hey, can I borrow $700?"
No, I mean it wasn't like that. I felt like she felt uncomfortable having to ask, but it was just really weird. And I was like, I don't really have that kind of cash flow. I don't have $700 to give to someone that I've met like 45 minutes ago. But I understand, people are in a tough spot, like car repairs.
Yeah.
So, but then she's like, well, what about like $400? Like I have another friend that I could get the rest from.
She was bargaining with you?
Yeah. So then she bumped it down to $4, and I was like, just as a general policy, I don't do loans on first dates. And then, we had dessert, we went home, and I, got out of there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so awful.
I have a tough
so
time
many levels.
loaning money to good friends of mine, let alone somebody that I just went out on a date with.
It seemed like a situation I didn't want to get into, so.
Not to make things weirder than they already are for you, but Daisy is actually on the phone and heard everything that you just said.
Hey, Alex.
Is it that's Daisy on the phone?
Yep.
It's me.
Hi?
Daisy, did you failed to tell us that you asked him for a loan on your first date, Daisy?
It was just one little question. You know what I mean? It didn't.
Huge question.
Daisy, that's a $700 question.
I was going to be able to pay him back by Friday. I mean, I got paid on Friday. It wasn't like I was never going to pay him back or going to drag this out or anything like that. And I mean, what am I going to do? I can't ask my ex-husband. He's a jerk. You know, so it just, to me, it was like a little question, and I didn't hold it against him at all that he said no, so I guess it never dawned on me that he would hold it against me that I asked.
Yeah, but I don't know you. It just seems so weird that you would think that it was okay to ask to borrow money. Don't you think that's weird?
To me, it's just like, there's no harm in asking, you know what I mean? I thought we were having a good time. It seemed like you would become a friend. And you never know until you ask. And like I said, there was no hard feelings that you said no, so it just never occurred to me that it would create hard feelings that I asked.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Alex. Daisy's not pissed at you that you turned down.
Opportunity to loan me money.
Wait, why are we worried about whether she's pissed? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, it's super weird to ask to borrow money. I mean, I don't ask friends for money. That's like something you ask family. Like, do you have an uncle or like a cousin or something? Like, rather than asking someone that you just met on a first date?
I mean, I suppose if I had someone else, I would have asked them, but it feels like, to me, it seems like super judgy to make assumptions about a person based on one question that they asked,
Daisy, if I went out on a date with someone and they started telling me they were having money problems and then asked me for cash, I'm going to judge them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm going to
right.
say that you're trying to, like, milk me out of money, especially if I met you online. I don't know you at all. Not a lot of trust can be had in a person that you just met on a first date asking for money.
I mean, I get what you guys are saying. I totally do. And I just didn't look at it that way because I am totally honest, and I did have the money on Friday. I would have totally paid him back. So it didn't dawn on me that, people would jump to that conclusion. Regardless of all of that, I did have a really great time on our date, and I would like to see you again.
Alex, would you like to go out with Daisy again?
Please.
We will pay for a second date. Daisy, I'm not paying for any car repairs.
Guys, be
But
nice.
we will
Stop
pay for
attacking
a second
Daisy.
date if you'll go out with Daisy again, Alex.
You know what? I will. I'll go out with her again. I mean, it was a really awkward, weird first date, but that's not the first awkward first date I've had.
All right.
Awesome. Daisy, you
Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They're cute.
Alex, don't leave your wallet out on the table.
Oh, Jubal flag.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
A common argument that couples get in is usually over directions. Happens a lot. It can make it even more stressful if you're trying to figure out those directions, and there could be a serial killer following you.
What?
Or a madman with a chainsaw who wants to cut you in half. It can make it very stressful, and nobody knows that better than Matthew right now, who's on the phone for a second date update. Matthew, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
We'll get to the reason that you think you're not getting a call back in just a second. But first, tell us about the girl you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Sarah.
Sarah?
Okay,
and where did you meet Sarah?
Hold up. We're just like nonchalantly going into Sarah as there was
Well,
a madman following him. Like, I'm kind of more concerned about the serial killer than Sarah at this point. Is Sarah alive?
That's why I said we'll get to it in a second. First, how'd you meet Sarah?
We met online a while back, and I don't know, we just started talking, chatting it up and whatnot, and it was, the start of fall, so it would be the perfect time to go to a haunted house or something fall festive-y.
Oh, I was concerned for your safety this whole time, and it turns out it's just one big haunted house hype.
I just kind of wanted it to be games, rides, chill time, but it turned out to not be that at all.
Yeah. According to your email, it seems like you might have had one of the worst dates ever.
What?
It kind of became like a haunted house, actually, because after all the games and the people and, whatever, there was this corn maze. And so, okay, yeah, sure, we'll do the corn maze. And everything's going great, we're hitting it off, having a great time, bonding and all that. But then 15, 20 minutes start to go by, and we're not seeing anybody else. We're lost in a corn maze, and I know that's the point of a corn maze, but it's getting kind of like a long time, and it's starting to get darker.
Darkest. Just
Pitch black.
I can see, though, if you're claustrophobic, that's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I was, but I kind of turned into, it was closing in on me.
So you guys were struggling in the corn maze, and that's where all the madness started?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say we were fighting per se, but we just kind of got short with each other, and I just know where we were going and where we were coming from. But then, I wanted to involve her, so we went her way. It just wasn't the right way. So things were not going great, and she started to panic, and I asked if she was okay, and she was not okay. And so I was like, okay, what could I do to calm her down? Because that's the worst thing, is being, freaking out.
Yeah.
Panicking.
You could have said, hey, we're at a corn maze in a pumpkin patch. I have a cell phone on me. I can call 911 if I need to. We're fine.
I don't know if I would have called 911. I mean, I don't think our life is in danger, but I was trying to use my cell phone as a flashlight.
Oh, gosh, it's getting that dark?
Yeah, exactly, and the battery was going down like crazy.
That's scary, too.
This is like a scene from a horror film.
It felt like it. So, like any good horror film, I needed some comedic timing and a little soften it up. And so I told her about this story. You know, when I was little, I got lost in this Toys R Us and started to, you know, get nervous, but I ended up finding my mom. And then I look up and she's crying.
What?
She was actually crying.
You made her cry?
I thought she was laughing, but then I noticed there's tears in her eyes, and I was like, what's wrong? It's like a cute little story. She was like, all she could picture was this little 5-year-old lost in Toys R Us and this sad story. And
you made it worse.
I thought she was crying because she couldn't figure out how to get out of there or something. She was actually crying because of your story?
Well, that's what it turned into. Then she just started crying because of the corn maze, and I mean, not crying, she was bawling, like wailing, and she just screamed me out, like, help, lost. Didn't want someone to think I was like hurting her or anything.
So did your date end there? Did you just like go, all right, I'm going to find my own way out? Or did you guys finally make it out of the corn maze?
I thought about it, but I think it might have been like an hour and a half maybe. We were in this thing. We just started seeing these flashlights like a search party, and it ended up being the workers of the maze.
Uh-huh.
They were like, I mean, coming pretty fast too, because they were hearing all these screaming noises.
Crying.
Yeah, and they kind of looked at me like I was crazy, but whatever. We ended up getting out, and everything was okay. I don't know where we stand, really, because I haven't been able to get a hold of her.
So wait, you got out, and then what happened? Did you just part ways, or?
No, I took her home, and again, I was trying to, you know, lighten the mood. I don't think it was probably the smartest.
No.
Yeah, you
You
apparently
told her,
suck at that.
Another story about when you were 7 and you were left in a Walmart.
No, I just told her that the GPS wasn't working. Like, it was, the GPS was going crazy.
Oh, like in your car?
Yeah, and it was just like a subtle thing, you know. I didn't even think anything of it, and then she did not appreciate that.
Oh,
Okay.
dude. These are bad
So
jokes,
at
man.
this point, she feels like you're making fun of her for overreacting in the corn maze, I'm guessing.
I can see where that logic comes in.
And have you talked to her at all since your date?
No, I've been trying to text her, I've even called her a couple times, just kind of see how she is, because I just want to know about her well-being.
Okay, so you're okay with dating someone who may be a little emotional.
Yeah, I mean, it was my fault because I put her in that situation, and if she wanted to go out again, I wouldn't take her to a place like that. So,
Okay.
All right.
Learn.
Yeah, big lesson learned. All right. Well, we'll play a song and then come back and call her and get your second date update, okay?
all right.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
What are some of the scariest things in life? Probably sharks.
Yeah, those are
Well,
pretty scary.
most likely sharks. And then there's the corn maze.
Right from there to the... Okay.
Yeah, those are probably the two scariest things.
That's it.
Or what if there's a shark in a corn maze?
It's impossible.
That would be
hard.
horrible. Also, a great new movie that should come out.
Oh, really?
They had Sharknado. Why not Shark in a Corn Maze?
Yeah.
Anybody called Sarah Michelle Gellar about that one? I'm sure she's got a clear schedule for it.
I mean, you put
Anyway.
this theme song behind it, and I'm already frightened.
We'll work on that after the second date update. But right now, Matthew is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Sarah. That's what they did on their first date. They went out to a place that had a corn maze, and things got bad because they got lost in the corn maze. Eventually, she was crying because she just wanted to get out of there. They were finally found by the staff. They got out. They drove home, and he made a joke at the end of the evening about his GPS not working in his car. She didn't like that joke very much, and she hasn't talked to him since. So we're about to get her on the phone and find out if we can get Matthew a second date. You ready to go, Matthew?
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
I just, hope she wasn't actually crying because she was scared she was going to be stuck with you forever.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm just saying, prepare for that. We've heard some not very nice, kind things during these second date updates.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to make sure everything's okay and she's not completely traumatized, and maybe we can, do something else besides go to a corn maze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
choice.
Well, I'll dial her phone number right now. Here we go.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Sarah, please?
this is she.
Sarah, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
This is who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
Jubal.
No, that's my sister. My name is Jubal.
Jubal. Okay.
And Brooke and Jubal in the Morning is a radio show, and we got an email about you from one of our listeners. That's why I'm calling you.
Okay.
Okay. We do a segment on our show. It's called the Second Date Update. That's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them back after, they can email us to get you on the phone and ask what happened. And Matthew, the guy that you went out with to a corn maze recently.
Oh, God. Really?
He emailed us because he says he's been trying to get a hold of you, but you're not calling him back.
Well, that would be correct.
Now, wait, is that reaction because of him or because of how terribly the date ended?
I don't know. All I can say is, I don't know.
Okay.
It just wasn't a good experience, so I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I don't think he meant for you guys to get stuck in the corn maze and for things to get that bad.
Yeah, but, my mother has always told me that when you hold a man's hand, if you don't feel safe and secure, then he's not the one. When I held his hand, it was all sweaty and clammy and disgusting. And he just didn't act like a real man on this date. Like, I don't understand how we're lost, okay? We're lost. And I'm usually not that emotional, but I showed a lot of emotion. I'm crying. I'm upset. And he's just like sitting down on the ground with his legs up. Not going to move. I'm just going to chill here until someone comes and gets us. Like, who does that?
Wait, he sat down?
He sat down. Like, this could have been a real life or death situation.
Okay.
Because we're lost.
Let's slow it down. You're in a corn maze. It wasn't actually a life or death situation.
Maybe not necessarily, but what if it was?
It's a test.
You just sit down on the ground and throw your legs up in the air and like, oh, well, I don't know what to do.
Well, I will say to his defense, if you're ever lost in the woods somewhere, you're told to stay put. Like, oftentimes going further is just going to get you into more trouble.
Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I don't know your name or whatever, but this is not the woods, hon. It's the corn maze. It literally goes in circles. I mean, how much lost could we have gotten? And I'm just like scared out of my mind. And he's doing nothing, just like, cracking jokes. Oh, I had this happen to me before. Well, guess what? It's never happened to me. So I would like to, I love my life. Hello, and I want to get out of here, like now.
Wait, you were really honestly that scared?
It's pitch black in a cornfield. No light, no nothing. I didn't want to spend the night there, and he was just acting like, well, someone will find us. We'll be all right. What?
Okay, so basically you don't think he's the type of man you want to be with because he wouldn't be able to take care of you in like a life or death or any kind of situation, basically.
Yeah, I mean, what if it was a real disaster like an earthquake or, we've had hurricanes and stuff. What are we going to do? Just sit on the ground and chill like, oh, we'll get swept away, but someone will find us?
I just feel like that's a pretty unfair comparison.
Okay, it's not like I got in a fetal position and was like giving up hope or anything.
What's going on?
Oh, Sarah, that's Matthew. He's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you. Apparently just started talking to you.
Jesus, take the whole wheel. Really?
I wasn't like I was just giving up. That wasn't the point. I wasn't trying to be this like wussy guy.
Well, that's what it looked like to me, Matthew. And then on top of that, when we get in the car, you're like, oh, yeah, my GPS is screwed up. I can't even get us home. What was that?
I was going for another joke. I mean,
another joke. I'm crying and I'm upset and I'm freaking out. You want to make another joke?
We were at a corn maze. Supposed to be fun, lighthearted, and it just got so serious. And you were yelling at the top of your lungs like I was going to kill you or something.
So my emotions aren't valid to you? Is that what you're saying? That's how you would react if it was like I was your girlfriend and I was freaking out about something. You're just like, oh, well, it's just this. That's your answer?
I was trying to be calm and trying to calm you down. I mean, what? I was supposed to freak out too? What if
no, you weren't supposed to freak out. You were supposed to validate my emotions and make me feel like I was safe and secure, and you didn't do that.
I was trying to get your mind off the situation, and I guess it just did not work.
Sarah, I don't think I feel like you're not giving him enough chance. Like, You were over emotional. I'm sorry, but you were in a corn maze. I understand you were scared, but to be screaming and crying at the top of your lungs and then blame him for your emotions seems unfair.
I'm getting emotional all over again just thinking about it. Like, he doesn't know what my childhood was. Maybe I got stuck somewhere, and he just made fun of it.
I told you a situation from my childhood, and you didn't seem to care about that.
I did care, Matthew. I was crying.
You cared too much.
She's right, actually.
Now, you didn't care about it, but now she cared too much, Matthew? Which one is it?
Look, I don't know, but what I do know is that whenever they found us, they did take us the way I wanted to go.
Oh.
Oh, I wouldn't put an I told you so in there right now, Matthew. That's probably not super smart.
I'm just saying, if you would have trusted me, Sarah, and let me be the man, I would have saved you and got you out of the situation like you wanted to.
Oh, so now you want me to trust you after you sat down on the ground and threw your legs up and made jokes. Nah, son, I'm not believing you.
Oh, my gosh, Sarah.
We just kept going in circles and circles and circles. And at the end of the day, it is a corn maze, and children had done this corn maze. And since we obviously couldn't figure it out, maybe we just should have got naked in the corn maze and done stuff.
What?
Would that would have been what you wanted?
That is creepy.
Sounds good to me.
At that point, you couldn't even get me so...
Okay, come on. Come on. Just, earlier when I talked to people at the radio station, I didn't want to go to a corn maze, but I think we should go back to the corn maze and face our fears, show you that I can be a man and take control of the situation.
Okay. All right, Sarah. Wow. Hey, Sarah, would you like to go on a second date with Matthew? We will pay for it. You can guys go back to the corn maze. He can punch a 7-year-old in the face, show you he's a man, and he can handle any kind of adversity. What do you think?
So let me get this straight. He wants me to go back to the corn maze, the place where we had all of this disagreement at, and try to... No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are a very well-fit couple.
It'd kind of be like a cute, fun story, the way we started out our relationship,
Yeah, like
I don't think
you guys went to a corn maze,
Yeah.
you questioned his manhood, you went back to the corn maze, you probably still would question it again after, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be a cute story, Sarah.
Yeah, I think I've done enough crying for the entire year already, guys. I don't want to do it again. Thank you.
All right.
All right, well, it's your loss. You're missing out on this. And if you think it, you have my number.
No, actually, I don't. I blocked and deleted you.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Matthew. No second date. But I'm sure there's a woman out there who will hold you when you're scared. So don't worry about it.
At the very least, somebody who's not going to freak out and go all lunatic crazy on me at the corn maze. I mean, that's the type of girl I'm looking for.
Well, good luck, homie. Find her because I'm done. Blocked, deleted. Thank you.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
A text in at 78592 that says, see, that's why I don't go to corn mazes. It's ruined 3 of my relationships. Talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, Matthew and Sarah spent their first date lost in a giant corn maze.
Oh, man.
She didn't think that he handled the situation like a man. He was wondering why he wasn't getting a call back.
Yeah.
And she thought he didn't handle it like a man because instead of taking charge and finding a way out of the corn maze, he just sat on the ground and made jokes and waited for people to find them.
Right.
Matthew said that he's only trying to take Sarah's mind off the situation with a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
But Sarah was completely turned off by his attitude and doesn't think that he could handle himself in stressful situations because of it. They decided not to go on a second date.
I just feel like she's looking for like a super like pumped up testosterone dude that would
like,
drive
I'll
me
save you.
crazy.
I'll knock all this corn.
Just walk straight through it. I don't care. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Perhaps one of the worst impressions you could make on a first date would be not showing up to the designated place where you were supposed to meet your date.
Oh, that's
And not because, you were late or anything else, but just because you couldn't find it. That's what happened with Kevin, who is on the phone with us today. And actually, Kevin, I identify with your story. He emailed us. He met a girl named Olivia. Actually, couldn't find the restaurant that they were supposed to meet at. It happens to me all the time, Kevin, so don't feel too bad, but mostly just because I don't pay attention to what people are saying to me, and then by the time I'm like on my way, I'm like, oh crap, where were we supposed to meet? And then I don't show up. So thank you for joining us, Kevin. Appreciate your email.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Jubal.
Now, you actually didn't make it to dinner on your first date because you couldn't find the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it wasn't your suggestion to go to this restaurant.
No. She just gave me the name of the place and didn't give me an address, so I had to. I guess my GPS kind of freaked out and kind of just couldn't decide between which restaurant it was.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. It's usually the user's fault and not the GPS. But I blame my GPS nonstop. I'm like, oh, stupid thing, took me completely down the wrong street. So are you normally bad with directions and finding places? Does this happen to you a lot, or is this kind of like a one-time weird thing?
I'm not very good with directions. I barely know where I am anyway, all the time.
So how late were you to the date?
Well, she actually ended up calling me about 25 minutes after we were supposed to meet.
Why wouldn't you call her and tell her, hey, I'm lost, where are you?
Well, you don't want to appear like the guy who can't find things and just,
Were you in contact with her, though? At least, like, you don't have to say, I can't find the restaurant, I'm a dumbass. You can be like, hey, I'm on my way, just running a little late. Did you at least do that?
I sent a text saying that, but that, that only gets you 10 or 15 minutes.
Right, and then she finally called you, and how'd that conversation go?
I admitted that I was a little turned around, and she asked where I was, and I told her the location, and I told her the cross streets, and it was like a block or two from her apartment. So she said, I know where you are, I'll come meet you, and we'll go back to my place for a drink.
Well, that was quick.
Wow,
Nicely done. You didn't plan this whole time? Wow.
Yeah, either you're a really creepy stalker and you already knew where her apartment was, and this is a genius way to get up there, or you just got super lucky by being right outside of her apartment.
Yeah, I thought perfect. It's super lucky. It's great. And then she met me, and we went up and had a few beers, and then it just got a little odd.
How was the conversation when you got up there in the beginning?
It was nice. She was really sweet, and she had a nice place, in which I love seeing how people live. So it was really great. And then we were only there for like 20 minutes, and she got a text saying that her roommate was coming home, and that I guess her roommate had just broken up with her boyfriend.
Okay.
And she needed to kind of console her, and so it was one quick drink, and then she kind of ushered me out.
Okay, Kevin, do you feel like that's legit?
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't want to assume someone's lying to you that quickly.
Yeah.
But that kind of feels like that's odd to me.
Yeah, it seems like interesting timing.
Very
You kind of blew it and didn't show up for dinner. She had to come meet you, threw you a pity date by being like, yeah, come up to my place, we'll have a beer. And then all of a sudden she receives a text from her roommate who just got through a breakup, and she has to ask you to leave. It seems kind of...
She didn't have to invite him to her apartment, though. I mean...
Yeah, because it seems like there's a couple of things going on. It's like, if she didn't want to see me at all, she could have easily said, I have something else to do. She brought me up for a drink, so it was kind of like I was getting two sides of a different story.
So when you finally left, did you guys make plans to see each other again?
No. And I texted her 3 times after the date, and I haven't heard from her at all.
No, nothing?
No. What was the last thing you guys said to each other?
I think I said I'll catch you soon.
Smooth.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know how she didn't fall head over
Slap her
heels
on the
for
back.
that.
Yeah,
That
catch
is-
you on the flip side,
that is
buddy.
sweet.
And then you took off. So you haven't heard anything from her. You've tried to text her 3 times and not a word back.
Yeah. I want to find out whether it was me that did something wrong. I don't date much. I work with computers, and I don't talk to people that much, so I want to make sure if it's something I did, and I want to know what it is, just so I can fix it the next time, or figure out if there's something I should or shouldn't be doing.
You should make sure you know where the restaurant is and show up on time. We'll tell you that right now.
And the whole thing's really a bummer because in the short time we were together, she seemed really cool and really nice, and she's really pretty, so I thought I had everything going, but...
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, get her on the phone, and get your second date update, okay?
That'd be great, thanks.
Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, here we go. Kevin is on the phone with us. He wants us to call a girl named Olivia. They had a pretty terrible first date.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin didn't even show up to dinner because he couldn't find the restaurant. She finally had to call him to see where he was, He was actually close to her place, so she said, fine, I'll come meet you. They went up to her place, had a couple beers before she said she got a text message from her roommate who had just broken up with her boyfriend and she needed to talk, so Kevin had to leave. She basically kicked Kevin out. Are you about ready to give her a call?
Yeah.
Now, if you find out that she lied about that text message and wanted you gone and was maybe upset because you didn't show up for dinner and she had to come meet you, what are you going to try to say to her in order to get a second date? Because you want to get another date with her, right? That's why we're doing this?
Do.
Okay, so what are you going to say to her?
I guess maybe assure her that I could never do that again, and I'll make sure I know exactly where the restaurant is for the rest of our dates.
Okay.
Yeah. And you said you haven't been on a date or many dates because you spend a lot of time in front of your computer.
Yeah, I don't meet that many people in person, so I do a lot of dating websites.
Were you awkward when you were at her apartment just the entire time anyway?
I try not to be.
You're sweet, Kevin.
You don't sound very awkward on the phone right now.
You sound articulate.
So, unless you were doing something really strange.
Yeah.
But I'm going to guess it's probably the fact that you didn't show up for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would make anybody angry. So I'm about to dial her right now. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, man. Hang on.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Olivia?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Olivia, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Hello?
How's it going?
Good. I'm sorry, who are you from?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show. Am I disturbing you at work or something? You sound...
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
No,
Is this like a promotion to buy something?
It is not a promotion to buy something. I'm actually calling you because a listener of ours sent us an email about you, and he wanted us to call you.
Okay.
I'll explain. His name is Kevin. You and him recently went out on a date. You probably remember Kevin because he couldn't find the restaurant you were supposed to go to, and you ended up going back to your place and just having a few beers.
Right.
Okay, well, Kevin really liked you and is wondering why you're not calling him back. Is there something that Kevin did on your date to make you not want to see him again?
You know, I just don't really feel like it's something to talk about. And, yeah.
Okay, but is it more than him not being able to find the restaurant?
No, that was super irritating, and like, what grown man can't find a freaking restaurant? But
Yeah.
no, that's not the issue.
That's not the issue.
No, is he? Is this some? Did he just like write an email, and you guys are calling me and like wasting my day, or?
Yep, that's pretty much exactly what happened. And I know that you're at work and you sound busy,
Yeah,
and I don't want you to.
just-
What's that?
I just want to know like what the premise of this, so that way I know if I need to change my phone number.
Whoa.
No, we won't be calling you ever again after this. I'd appreciate you, though, hanging on because it's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Basically, we want to tell Kevin what he did wrong on your date so he can learn not to do it again on other dates. It sounds like you don't want to see him again. Can you tell us what the main issue is? What did he do?
I went to the kitchen to make us a drink, and when I came out, he wasn't in the living room where I left him, and where he was coming out from did not seem like the bathroom, and he seemed really weird about it. Like, he just seemed weird, and then I went back. It just got really awkward. It's not that big of an apartment, so it's not that hard to find the bathroom, and my door to my bedroom was ajar.
You think he went in your room?
I think he stole a pair of my freaking panties.
What?
For
and
real?
I do not want him anywhere near me.
Hold up. Okay, I was just going to say that he went into your room, and that's weird, but you think that he stole a pair of your underwear.
I think he couldn't find a restaurant, but he could find my freaking underwear drawer.
Okay, Olivia, that's a big claim. Are you sure you're not just imagining something? Why would you think that he would do that?
He was just so weird, and it was like awkward from the beginning, and I felt like I had made a bad decision even when I was letting him into my apartment, and it just got worse. And then when he wasn't in the living room, like, why didn't he just say, hey, can I please use your bathroom? Like, have some common courtesy if you're a stranger.
And then are you just assuming that he stole your underwear? Like, are you missing underwear?
My drawer was ajar.
Yeah.
You could have possibly left that there, right?
Yeah, but if you have a gut feeling about something.
And I don't remember hearing the toilet run. Like, you know how after you pee and you flush, it kind of like runs for a little bit to fill back up?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that.
Are you missing underwear?
I have like 100%.
Okay, so you don't know. I know every single one of my underwear. They're
Are
all
you being
cataloged and
serious?
charted. Yeah, I know when I'm missing a pair.
I wouldn't know either.
So you don't really know. You don't have any proof that he took your underwear, but that's just what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think he's really weird, and he creeped me out, and the freak flag went off, and I asked him to leave my apartment.
You don't want to ask him if he did take your underwear?
Sorry, my boss is giving me a weird look. I'll be right back. Okay, what was your question?
You don't want to ask him if he did take your underwear?
No. I don't ever
Are you
want to
sure?
talk to this guy again.
Oh, that's a shame because, Olivia, he's actually on the other line, and I would love to find out. Kevin, did you steal Olivia's underwear?
I would never steal anyone's underwear, let alone like on a first date. I was using the bathroom.
Oh, really? You were using the bathroom?
Yeah,
You didn't have to pee and didn't wash your hands. You were just in there to check yourself out. And there's a mirror in the living room.
No, I had to pee quickly. I was in a car driving around for 25 minutes straight looking for the restaurant.
Honestly, I don't care if you had to pee and you peed. I don't care. You're creepy, and I don't ever want to go out with you again.
Okay, well, you don't know for sure that he stole your underwear, Olivia. Like, you could be just making that up.
Even if he didn't steal my underwear, the fact that my first instinct was that he did makes me believe that this is not husband material. Like, this is not a good idea.
You never know, there's lots of weddings that have started off like that.
What was it about him that was so creepy?
Lack of timeliness, lack of eye contact, awkward breathing.
You just described like most men.
Olivia, look, I am truly sorry if you felt that was creepy, but I absolutely did not take your underwear. I wasn't even in your bedroom. Please, just give me another chance.
I'm sorry. I just really can't deal with this right now. And no, it's just you were too creepy. I have a job to keep, so good luck.
All right.
Oh.
Kevin, did you take Olivia's underwear?
No.
Be honest.
No.
Kevin, are you creepy? What is so creepy about you?
I don't know. Wow. That's nothing I can fix.
Kevin, are you all right? Look, there's one of two things here. Either you are a creep and you stole her underwear, or Olivia's crazy.
Yeah.
And she's the weird one who just assumes that by you going to her bathroom, you're stealing her underwear. What is it?
I was really embarrassed for not finding the restaurant, so maybe I was acting weird and strange, but I didn't take her underwear, so that is crazy.
It's not like he's going to admit to us anyway.
Yeah.
You're probably
No,
wearing them right now, Kevin, for all we know.
Kevin, are you wearing Olivia's underwear?
You guys, don't beat up on him. If he stole them, why would he call us for
Because
the answer?
crazy people do crazier things.
Yeah, maybe she's crazy.
I don't think so.
So-
I believe her gut instinct. I think you're a creep.
If she had such a gut instinct, why would she
Come on.
invite him into her apartment?
Well,
I feel bad for him.
yeah, Kevin. Hey, look, I didn't get to ask her if she wanted a second date with you.
Oh,
You know, normally I do that. You know what? How about this? If you want a date with Kevin, text us 78592. He might be an underwear thief, but I'll pay for you to go out with him.
I am not an underwear thief.
You guys could go to Victoria's Secret together.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Listen, I knew the people that listened to our show were pretty desperate, but I had no idea how desperate they were until after this second date update that we just played. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. Why do I say that? Well, Kevin wanted us to call this girl named Olivia. We got her on the phone. She wasn't calling back after their date. She accused him of stealing her underwear.
That's a big accusation.
She has no proof that he stole the underwear, but he doesn't really make a good argument that he didn't steal the underwear, so we don't know who's crazy here. Either she's just automatically thinking that a guy's going to steal her underwear, or he's an underwear thief. I said at the end of the second date update, this is something that I never do. I'm like, hey, if you want a date with Kevin, text us, 78592. We'll give you a date with a possible underwear thief. All right? That's usually not a ringing endorsement for a guy, for a lot of ladies.
A computer guy that doesn't date very much, that couldn't use his GPS, is a possible underwear stealer.
Yes, who might steal your underwear. But so many texts in at 78592. Hey, he can steal my undies anytime. Another one that says, I'll go on a date with Kevin. Sounds like he needs a chance to redeem himself. Dating can really blow sometimes.
Oh my God.
Okay, the guy might be an underwear thief. We don't know. Another one says he can date me. I don't wear underwear, so it's fine.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
I don't get it. And this is why we always complain, I can never find a good man.
But hey, this is
You
proof
know?
for you, Brooke. When Brooke is always shocked how I get chicks. I'm like, guys can do this,
Yeah.
and they can get dates.
If you're sitting there single right now and you want to be in a relationship and you're wondering why you can't find somebody, think about this second date up. All right? A possible underwear thief can get a lot of people interested in him, and you can't get a date. What are you doing wrong?
What's happening? It's like no one cares about red flags anymore.
Re-examine some things in your life.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if he stole it.
But it's true.
And I feel like she's jumping to conclusions. He might have been weird.
No, but
I feel like she's just like it's weird. Okay, if you're going on a date with someone, it's weird. That's kind of strange. It's okay to be like, all right, they're creepy. I don't want to deal with them. But just to go to the place that he stole my underwear with no proof, kind of weird.
With no
yeah,
proof.
but the thing is that she went and specifically said, even if he didn't steal my underwear, that was my immediate reaction to him using my restroom is probably a problem.
I just think that
it's not going to work out between
what
the two of us.
kind of girl has that immediate reaction?
A girl?
Where it's just like, oh my God, he stole my underwear.
It's kind of-
he might have been in my room, stole my underwear.
It's a weird response by her, and he's a weird dude. It obviously just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But looks like we're going to find him a date no matter what.
Someone wants to be underwear bandit buddies with him.
Yeah.
Gotta
all
find him
kinds
a
of people.
friendship, too.
Right? Yeah. He's got friends all over the place. If you want a second date update, all you have to do is email us, brookeandjubal@moving925.com. We will call the person who didn't call you back.